So I was going through a grocery store the other day just to pick up a few items, like a smaller grocery store. And as I was leaving, I noticed a Toys for Tots bin, and I almost started crying in the grocery store because it was completely empty. And so, like, I had this moment of realization where I was like, Jesus, I've been spending all this time getting ready for Christmas, buying gifts, wrapping presents, doing all this stuff. Like, I had this realization that I hadn't given, like, to those in need. And so I went back, some of these stores, like smaller grocery stores, have these like bags you can buy that are food shelf ready. So I grabbed some of those bags, paid for them, and went through and put them where you're supposed to put them. And when I opened up the box, there were, thank goodness, there were a few bags in there, but like still the bin was like pretty sparse. And it made me think about how in previous years, like I would see the Toys for Tots bins be just like overflowing. And so this is why like it hit me and I got all choked up and I was like, oh my goodness. And it kind of got me thinking about, are there, like maybe it's economic issues. And I'll kind of get into another little story in a second, which ties into that. But like to start off with, I don't know, like it doesn't take that much to like a $5 toy for the Toys for Tots bin, or like a $5 worth of food to the food shelf actually makes a really big difference. So like those of us who can afford to give, we shouldn't forget what Christmas is about, okay? Like it's not about mass consumption. And I think most of us know this, but we've been like, the advertising industry is smart. They know what they're doing. And so I think that many of us, like when we operate with just our unconscious, subconscious minds running the show, we kind of forget that it's not just about, hold on one second, not just about buying a bunch of crap to give to those, around us. Which, okay, I don't want to like negate, because that is beautiful. Like buying a gift for somebody is really beautiful. And that kind of exchange, that representation of the exchange of love, But I think what happens with a lot of us is we forget that there are people who are really struggling. And just a little bit, if all you can afford, like I said, is $5, it makes a huge difference, especially like a whole bunch of people doing that. So that brings me to, I was at Target. I went to Target to buy a bunch of toys for the Toys for Tots bin. And as I was going through the checkout lane, the lady asked me if I needed a gift receipt. And I was like, I don't know. I explained how they were for Toys for Tots, and I didn't know if you needed to give a gift receipt. And she's like, no, you don't. And then she told me this story, as she was scanning the toys. She was like, Toys for Tots made such a huge difference in my life. Okay, no crying. She said that there was a time where her daughter was like ill in the hospital for a long time. And like she couldn't work, so she lost her job. And she said that like Toys for Tots saved Christmas for her. And people like brought her all this stuff, and like they were able to give her child who was sick in the hospital like all this this amazing Christmas. And keep it together here. Like people are struggling. And this is just for whoever wants to listen to this, to remind people, like, because like the reason why I'm sharing this is because I had this realization, oh my God, I forgot to go all the way through Christmas without giving to people who are in need. And like that was a little bit jarring for me, because I don't know, that's something that I think is important. And there's a lot of us, I think, who do kind of get on autopilot because life is busy. But don't forget, food shelves, it's a great place to give a donation. And Toys for Tots, because like these are, sometimes I wonder with like, I'm not against donations that take money, because I think that can do a lot of good. But sometimes I'm a little skeptical about how that money's distributed with like food shelves and Toys for Tots. Like that's going to go directly to a child who otherwise wouldn't get a Christmas gift, or people who actually need food. So I feel like those are really great places to do your Christmas donations. What I'm wondering though is this, like, is there like a nationwide reduction in like Toys for Tots donations, food shelf donations? Because like I mentioned, the food shelf bin at the grocery store was a little small, a little sparse considering Christmas time. And maybe they just had emptied the Toys for Tots bin. I would like to think that. I hope that's the case. But the lady at the checkout, because I mentioned I told her, I noticed that the Toys for Tots bin was like empty, and she's like, you know what? She said she and her boyfriend had been talking about how there seems to be kind of less giving going on to people in need. And I really do think, because like I had done a video a while back where I would see a lot of homeless people when I'm out working, and it seems like there's more people in need. And we know over COVID, a lot of people lost their job. Like, people lost their jobs. A lot of smaller businesses went out of business because of fucking Amazon and big corporations like that. So like a lot of people are hurting in that regard. The other thing that I've seen, like, that's been glaringly obvious, is there was pretty blatant like COVID inflation, like mass price gouging. Everything went up in price really quickly, but the wages didn't go up. So home prices are insane right now. There was a huge jump. And then just like everything went up. My garbage bill's gone up, my electric bill, gas bill, like when you go to the store, groceries have all gone up. And this is all the result of COVID. And so it has me wondering, is the reduction in giving this year related to economic issues that people are dealing with, thanks to the way all of that was handled? I think yes. I would love to hear what you have to think about it. But yeah, I'm not trying to be a downer, but if you can afford to give to the food shelf or anything like that, you should do it, okay? Because it makes a real difference in people's lives. So I think that's it for my public service announcement, and have a great day.